Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be doing a review of the MBT Shoe, Mascara Barefoot Technology, give you a little bit of the history, actually show me walking around in them, and then at the very end I'll give you a brief comparison to the Skechers shape-ups. So if that interests you, please stay tuned. Okay, so kids, the MBT shoe. MBT stands for Mascara Barefoot Technology because the inventor of the shoe went to Kenya and saw the Maasai tribe walking around in sand, and he noticed that they don't quite have the gait and postural problems that us Westerners have, and they also have very toned calves and muscles, and he was intrigued by that. He's like, what about their way of life helps their feet and their posture? And he postulated that it was because of the uneven surface, a surface that also gives, such as sand. So he wanted to create a shoe that could help to mimic that. So hence, the MBT was born. They have been manufacturing shoes since 2000. I have owned MBTs either since 2001 or 2002, so I've owned pairs of MBTs almost from the beginning. And I initially saw them at a shoe store down in Key West, and they had like pamphlets with them explaining how they help with posture and they can help tone muscles. So I bought them and I noticed an improvement in my posture, which was really nice. And then my family and I went to Disney about a year or so after I initially bought them and walked around in them all day. At the end of the day, I had no pain in my hips, my knees, my ankles, and my feet didn't feel tired. I actually had a lot of energy at the end of the day. I initially bought them for their muscle toning properties, but I ended up keeping them and purchasing them time and time again for their pain relieving benefits. They've changed a lot since this. They're not the most attractive looking shoe, but to me, if they're going to relieve pain, I mean, I used to work retail where I was on my feet 8, 10 plus hours a day. And again, when I would wear regular sneakers, I would be in so much pain, but if I wore these, I could work without a problem. And I am going to stand up and demonstrate for you. If you slouch forward in the shoe, the feet will tip like this, or the shoe will tip like this, and you'll start to fall forward. If you lean too far back, same thing, the shoe will lean back and you will feel like you're going to fall over. But if you stand with proper posture, you will feel balanced. That is one of the ways it can help with muscles in your legs, because you are on an uneven surface. I mean, it's not anything that's too crazy, really. I think maybe the first week I was a little bit sore because you are using muscles that you may not otherwise be using. So I've gone through 5 pairs of shoes. Unfortunately, I don't have all of them here with me. Most of my MBTs are back home in Florida because, you know, I didn't anticipate filming this, but I do have 2 pair. This is a pair that I bought 5 or 6 years ago. And as you can see, I give my shoes quite a beating. When I wear my shoes, I go for long walks and dirt and sand and things like that. I like going outside and walking. So they've gotten a beating, but they still, they still work, obviously. I'm so excited because MBT came out with a running line, which is more lightweight, and they have 3 different levels. Now, these are the Z16s, which are last year's model. I like to get the most ostentatious color that they make, so pink, turquoise, and black. Okay, so in MBT's new running shoe line, they have 3 different levels: fast, performance, and cushioning. So the fast is for your short to medium distance runs that require a lightweight, low profile shoe with minimal rocking. The performance are for your longer distance runs requiring added cushioning and improved mid-foot to forefoot transition. And then the cushioning, which is this pair right here, for your training and recovery runs or maximum cushioning or that ultimate soft feel is key, which is totally me because of my knees. I really want something that has high amounts of cushioning in it. And also, as many of you know, with my shoulder and neck issue, anything that can help with my posture is great. Let's talk about pros and cons with the MBT. Pros: really good at helping with improving your posture as you're standing and walking in them. They're really nice if you want just a little bit of extra toning. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're going to get ripped with them. I would say if you want to use them in addition to your strength training routine, like wearing them while you're doing squats and lunges, I definitely think that you would see a boost in your results, but you're not going to get ripped just by wearing these alone. Or if you go on the treadmill at an incline, I can feel such a difference when I wear these. I definitely can feel more muscle activation in the back of my legs, which is great. Another pro: they're great if you are on your feet 8+ hours a day. These shoes, at least in my personal experience, can help to save your joints and the bottom of your feet, and it will help to strengthen the muscles in the bottom of your feet. So what are the cons of the MBTs? Well, one of the cons isn't really so much a con anymore. They're very heavy. Like, these shoes are like 2 to 3 pounds each shoe. Pretty heavy. Well, since they came out with the running line, they're much more lightweight. I'd say this shoe is a pound or less. It's way lighter in feel. Another con that, again, isn't as much of a con anymore is the price. When these first came out, they were like $250, which was a lot. If you go on Amazon, thank the Lord for Amazon. Honestly, can we just sit back and just praise God for Amazon? Because if it wasn't for Amazon, a lot of the things that I like to buy, I wouldn't be able to buy at such great prices, okay? If you just buy last year's model, even if you bought this year's model through Amazon, I think it's still less expensive. But if you just buy last year's model, because let's face it, I don't know what the difference between this year's model and last year's model is. I looked at the pictures, they looked almost identical. So I'm not sure what the difference is, but to me, I don't mind buying an old model, and chances are there's not going to be a huge difference. I purchased these for $97.62 from Amazon, and plus I have a Prime membership, so free 2-day shipping, can't beat that. So last thing I want to discuss, the Skechers Shape-Ups. So Skechers Shape-Ups don't claim to be physiological footwear like MBT. They don't claim to help right physiological issues in your body. But because of the pricing on Amazon, guys, you can get the MBT for almost the same price as the Skechers, and honestly, it's worth the money. I wore Skechers Shape-Ups for a while because MBTs weren't available on Amazon yet, and I wanted to save some money and have a shoe similar. I will say it's similar. It can definitely help because of the nature of the foam, even though their foam is definitely a little bit different than MBT's. It can, I mean, you know, it does help also with the joints, which is nice. But I will say it feels different, and they don't last nearly as long as the MBTs do. I just find that they already start feeling pretty flat, excuse me, after a couple months of usage, maybe like 6 months of usage. And I know you're supposed to change your shoes out every few months, but you know, I'm not going to do that all the time, sorry. It's not a necessity for me to need to constantly do that. And if you buy a really well-made shoe, I don't think you should have to do that, personally. But if for some reason you can't use Amazon, or you do find Skechers Shape-Ups for even less money than what I paid for these on Amazon, definitely get them to try. It depends on what you want them for. If you just want them to wear on occasion to walk to a park or something, you're not doing anything too strenuous, I would say try them, give them a try. But if you were like me and you were working 5 to 6 days a week, 10+ hours a shift, or if you're on a movie set, 14+ hours a shift, these are going to wear out much quickly, these are going to wear out much more quickly just from what I've personally experienced. Again, I'm not ladylike with my footwear. I'm going to run in them, I'm going to walk in dirt and sand, and I'm going to exercise in them, and I'm gonna put them through their paces. I'm gonna beat them up because that's my lifestyle. I'm not just gonna walk daintily in my shoes. That's not me. Sorry. I'm not a princess. I don't think that they provide as much of a toning benefit either, but I just think if you want a shoe that's way more durable, is going to last way longer, and they now cost about the same thanks to Amazon, I would definitely go for the MBT. Also, what's really cool about MBT, they don't just make sneakers, they put their rocker technology in boots, sandals, Mary Janes. They're really trying to make more fashionable shoes, which I love these. I don't have a problem with them, and they come in tons of different color combinations. That reminds me, so glad I just thought of this because you guys need to know. If you're going to buy MBTs, in general, you want to go up between half the size to a full size. For some reason, that's just the norm. If you go on Amazon to order and you read the comments, most people say that, and it's true. Like I said, I don't know why. I'm usually a 5.5, 6, and I ordered, okay, so I'm usually a 5.5. So I ordered these in a size 6, they fit perfect, because these I ordered in a 5.5 and they're a little tight. Yes, I have an incredibly small foot. I'm also not even 5'2". There you go. Now the Skechers, I would say in the shape ups, just order your regular size. You should be totally fine. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I will be coming out with more videos soon. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Check it one more time, check it one more time, check it one more time. That percent conditioner will be $2.